I was going to make this about one product, but as I started doing the project, I realized that the two products actually complemented and were part of the same upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and do this product review about both products. You're going to see content jumping back and forth between the two products, between a very heavy-duty power strip that was sent to me and also a new air pump that's going to be running 4 sponge filters in my quarantine hospital tanks. So let's go ahead and get into it. Do share your thoughts and comments at the bottom underneath the video. We do learn from each other on this channel, and your comments are very appreciated. All right, let's get into it.
This is the Haiger Windstorm. It's an air pump kit. This one happens to be 15 watts and is set up to run a main line to sort of a gang valve that then goes out to four different outlets, or as many as you want to use. It also has a real nice wheel for controlling how much air pressure you actually want to be pumping. It controls the actual wattage. Before hooking up that main tube, I do suggest you run it under a little bit of hot water and soften it up a little bit. The other tubes, the ones that go from the valve to the actual sponge filters that you'll see in a second, didn't need this step. But for this main one, to get it all the way in the way you want it, it helped to really kind of soften it up a little bit. I'm going to be using it to run the pumps in my quarantine and hospital tanks. In this case, a 20-gallon rimless and also a 29-gallon. I have 2 29-gallon hospital and quarantine tanks, but I'll be using this on the 20 and on the 29-gallon. It pumps about 350 gallons per hour, I guess, of water, measured in GPHs, using about 15 watts. Nicely branded. Before we get it going, though, I need to clean up some of the electrical kludge around the tanks.
Electrical wiring behind my hospital and quarantine tanks is a bit of a jumble, a bit of a mess. There's 3 tanks. You can see in here what's going on. There's 3 strips. There's 2 4-plug outlets that I had put in when I increased the amps. But I want to go ahead and get that all cleaned up and organized as part of a project that also includes getting some of the air lines redone using this Haiger Windstorm unit. I was contacted by a group called Ovitech, and they sent me a large strip that I'm going to go ahead and incorporate behind those tanks to get all those wires organized. It's a 12 socket strip with a very heavy duty cord, as you can see. And it includes, they send you a bracket if you want to hang it on the wall. They include the brackets and all the screws that you'll need. I'm probably just going to lay it behind the aquariums. Let's go ahead and incorporate this and see how it cleans up the mess. Okay, so I was able to eliminate these 2 strips here. This area got a little bit cleaned up, but I decided to go ahead and use 1 strip in between here with light timers because I'm messing with the lights from time to time and don't want to have to go searching around. So I want the timers right where I can put my hands on them. And I also have a heavy duty plug-in here that is actually runs the strip that runs this unit here. So I had to leave that in place. And I also have one plug up there that I'm going to leave open for lighting when I do live streams. But you can see the unit back here. It's slightly elevated. In the event of a tank leaking or something, it'll be up and off the ground, if you will, or off the shelf. But I used almost all of them. And some of them that I need to get to from time to time have these little bread bag markers on them, like that one right there is a heater. So I try and mark them so it makes it easier to find what I'm working with. I'm not fumbling around. But that'll free things up. And now the next step is to get all of these pumps. I have 3 pumps working here, running a variety of sponge filters. So I'm going to get those pumps consolidated into this one Hygger unit and see how I like it. Assuming it's not too noisy. If it's too noisy, I'm not going to use it. But Hygger sent it to me, so I'm going to go ahead and do a review on it. So thank you, Ochart, for this nice strip. Handles 1875 watts. That's well above what I've got plugged into it. And it comes with an $80,000 equipment warranty, which would definitely cover the replacement of these aquariums. And a 1-year warranty. It's good for -4 to 113 degrees. So don't use it outdoors in Las Vegas. I think it is intended for indoor and office use. There you have it. Trying to simplify things here in the fish room. Thank you, Ochart. I will include a link to Ochart in the description and probably in the first comment under the video.
With the wires organized and cleaned up, let's get that new air pump installed.
Before going all in, I decided to go ahead and test the unit first with 2 of the sponges and just check the sound level. So I plugged it in, turned it on. Too much from one side. It was actually throwing water outside the aquarium. Let's go ahead and turn it way down. So the variable flow control is very nice. Hygger does provide you also with a pretty thorough instruction manual, telling you what all the different parts that are included and what they do. The only problem I had with the instruction manual is that the one-way valve that they have depicted is different, but it's easy to figure out. The one that they include actually looks a little nicer than the one that's in the picture. To get this one running right, I had to adjust this gang valve, so reducing a little bit of air to this one, which is the far one, which for some reason runs really strong. I suspect there's probably an air stone on this one, which is causing more resistance. So I opened that one all the way up, the one on the right here, and shut the one on the right down just a little bit, and that adjusted it perfectly. So between the gang valve, this valve here, and this unit here, this variable unit here, you can actually really dial in how much oxygen, how much bubble activity you want going on. So let's add 2 more sponge filters and see how it does pushing air to 4 sponges. And by the way, it's perfectly quiet. Since I was working on them, I decided to go ahead and pull them out and give them a good rinse. These are the two sponges that are in my 29-gallon hospital tank. And when I say that there's an air stone in a sponge filter, like I mentioned about this sponge filter here, what I mean is that you can put an air stone. You see that? You can use an air stone in the sponge filter to help create a different kind of flow or a better flow. They each have an air stone. Now the problem with that is, of course, air stones do get blocked from time to time, so I'm not entirely convinced that that's the best way to go, but it's the way I've been running them. The tubing provided by Hygger that comes with the unit is supple enough so it's easy to work with, easy to get on. So you don't need to necessarily heat these air lines to get them in place, as I'm doing here with one hand. So I'll drop these back in the tank. My only problem with Hygger airlines in the past, sounds like an airline that you would take a flight with, but my only problem with the Hygger airline in the past has been that it's so supple that it can kink. So just watch for that when you're laying out the hose. Don't let it fold, because it will kink. I personally think the Aquarium Co-op airline is superior, but they provide you with nice pieces of airline, so enough to get the job done. If you're running it from further away, you might need to cut separate airline. You're also provided with a bag of one-way valves. So if you're going to use the pump below the aquarium or below the top water level of the aquarium, where you could possibly get a back siphon, you can use those one-way valves. I'm ultimately going to put this pump inside a cabinet and then run the airlines out from there. So the pump will be higher than the aquariums. They also give you 4 very hefty, good-sized air stones. Look at the size of that thing. So if you want to use air stones, if you're not using sponge filters, you can use the air stones. All of that, along with all the hoses, are provided with the unit. Okay, so I added 2 additional sponge lines right here, these 2. Just going to open those up and see how they do and how they impact the flow of the other lines. This one's very strong. This one is on the right isn't quite as strong. Let me kind of tweak the controls a little bit. This is the one on the far side right here. So I can close that one down, or leave that one open rather, and then close this one just a little bit for balancing. And then I can open up the main control just a little bit. Okay, now you see now I've got some there, but none here. Let's open up the valve. Now I've got a tremendous amount on the right and nothing on the left. So let me play with this some more. All right, now by using the control on the cord and using the valves, that's a bunch of duckweed floating around, I've got them both going very strong. But you don't want them going too strong. You don't want them splashing out the top of the aquarium. But those 2 are good, and then the other 2 that are being run, let's take a look at those. That's a good running little pump. He's running nice and strong. Okay, this is pretty dialed in. And you can hear, this is the noise. Can you hear it? Very, very light hum. Might be because there's some wires touching it as well. But I'm going to go ahead and put it on on some foam. That'll dampen it even further. So there you go. It's a very light hum, very, very light hum. Not nearly as loud as I thought it would be. So this is the Hygger Windstorm, 10 to 15 watts. Comes with a two-year warranty. I'll go ahead and include a link underneath the video. This one is the 15 watt unit, but I'm assuming as you control that little valve, that hand control valve, if you turn it down, it's going to reduce the wattage that you're using naturally. So there you go, Windstorm air pump kit. Check it out. With the link, I will keep the other pumps handy in case this one fails. Unfortunately, I have had some problems with Hygger products failing. I do have lights and heaters that have been running forever. I also have a heater that failed on me and a wave maker that failed. So hopefully this is going to turn out to be a quality product. What's the downside? The downside is I've replaced lithium battery power backup pumps. So in the event of a power outage, I'm not going to have any air. But again, I still have those fully charged lithium pumps that I can immediately move into action if I need to. So there you go. Let me know what you think in the thoughts below. Hygger Windstorm. So I changed my mind on the placement of the pump, and you can see it's back here instead of in the cabinet up here, which was giving me a little bit of a positioning problem. So I had to put in the one-way valves. So I installed that on every one of the hoses. That will prevent a back siphon. So by using a combination of both the valves and the little toggle or wheel they give you here, I've been able to dial in all of the sponges so they work just perfectly. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to come by on Saturdays for the Cichlids and Coffee live stream, that's every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central, as it says on the banner. It's not true unless it's on a banner. So there you go. Consider becoming a Patreon supporter. That's very cool. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't forget the bell. Thank you, my friends. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.